Shoot this shit. Climax. Okay, great. My shit fucking thorny. It's better if we separate one more time. Oh shit. I don't have a hotspot or Wi-Fi, so that shit went out because there's no internet around here. Shit. Okay. Um. So like I said, I'm gonna speed through all this stuff and I'm gonna explain it in depth later in the rest of the videos after all of this information that I'm just throwing out there. All right. So okay. Here we go. Here's the chart. Here's as I was starting putting all this information and understanding that the universe is just a part of me as I'm a part of it. I was inside of my home and I started to put two and two together with the negatives and the positives of a battery, and that is Adam and Eve. I think it's these two fellows again from the other night, and this hopefully this is gonna be short. So I gotta see what time it is. I gotta see what time it is so I can skip this part and I don't ever have to go through it again, or at least I can cross the street. Something, you know what I'm saying? It's 10:10. All right, something's going on at 10 o'clock that I need to be aware of and understand. So, you know, I like to be pretty cool and stuff. Um, I just like, awkward situations. Nothing ever has to be awkward. I'm just saying, it's gonna get more light over here. I guess that is being a little rude in this room, but I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. It's just sometimes it kind of feels like they're trying to be funny with me, and it's like, go ahead and say what the fuck is on your mind, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where I be getting at. So just to keep this, I'm gonna put this in even more light. I don't want to have to showing this important information. Real. All right. I got some bomb ass lighting right here, like me. Right. You see, this is a little better. What about from right here? Hell no. From right here. Okay. A little bit. Little bit. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Check me out. Look. 26 inches. All right. So right here, this is some trippy information that I found out when I was putting together with the whole Adam and Eve. I don't want, dang it, with the whole beginning of all time. With the knowledge and the origins that we can re-find out and find our way back to from our reproductive organs, right? Okay, simply putting it that way. So you have Adam, which is the positive. Actually, Eve. I would have to say Eve is the positive. You know, Eve is the positive, and Adam, it just is. But for some reason, in Egyptology and in modern day Christianity, they got Adam as the man, and it sounds like the man, but Eve is the one that elevates. So Eve should be the positive, and Adam is at a standstill. So even though he's an evolution, Adam is in the word is an acceleration, is a amplitude, it's an atom, it's an up. So you can, yeah, Adam can be the man or whatnot. They can actually be both Adam and Eve. No, those are singularities. But you get what I'm saying. If Eve, saying that Eve can be the positive because she's also an elevator. But yeah, we're just gonna it gotta be accurate. So Adam, let me see, Adam and Eve, those actually have the same parallelities in being stationary and elevating at the same time. That's crazy. But those they but that's the exact polarity that exists in the man and the woman. Man and the woman, and what makes up uh the simple function of attraction is a negative, but not a negative, positive thing. Something that has to attract and something that has to be attracted. It's always a yin and a yang. You know what I'm saying? So we're made up of both. So as a man is made up of both yin and yang, and so is the woman. And neither of us can survive without each other. So we're always magnetized. And that's just how existence exists, because it has to, based upon our basic properties, and that is um, the magneticism of attraction towards our beginnings, and our attraction towards the light, which is a constant evolution, you know, um, from the beginning of time. So it also would entail with the book of Genesis being genuine, um, gen being genomic, being the description of a standstill solar um, molecule or atom. Basically, the word gen speaks to like a germ, like your basic. Um, the word gem actually, it means just gene. It just means gene, like you as a singular organism. It just means gene, genesis. So all these all these all this wordplay in scriptures, in the Bibles, or spirituality is completely synchronized with the science of the universe. Anyways, I'm gonna get to it. So, so this is really gonna be crazy. I know people trip out and think I don't know what I'm talking about, but every single time I speak, I know it may take me a while to get to the point, but every single time I speak, I explain all the information, what I'm talking about, and then it relies, and then it realigns and relies, like relayers through its consistency to what I'm saying scientifically. So there's no way that it's not about what I'm talking about. It's about the factual basis in which I am putting, not the how I'm trying to modify and manufacture words. No, it is the factual basis in which all this information is factually correct. and it's completely consistent. So it is absolutely 100% true. Like I said, I'm being completely transparent, and this is the truth right here. So I know I did this on a cardboard box 'cause I was taking apart a printer. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why niggas in Africa is making spider robots out of garbage, trash and stuff. Well, fuck, you let me know, nigga. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, and why Indian people making damn infinite uh energy object out of damn old computer chips. And shit. People in Arabia finding out the U.S. secrets out of old Dell computers in Arabia or something. Dell computer chips making. I ain't gonna be racist. Say weapons of mass destruction and shit. But I'm just gonna get on point. So basically, this right here, man, I get out this light. Okay, right here. This right here, man, this is very bad lighting. Man, is this better? I do this with my left hand. Okay. All right. Ah. So check it right here. This is knowledge. Right here, you're gonna have. These are the two testicles. You gotta first. It's hard to explain this, but I want you to understand that we are one. Man and female are one. So this is where you'll start to get the evolution of your anatomy. Evolution is the increasing expressiveness of the creation that the universe made. And your anatomy is your complete form in which the universe made it. And it continues to grow. Adam and Eve. So check this. He is within she is within he. This is Adam right here. This right here is one of your testicles in which the polarization contains male and female sperm. I mean, not male and female sperm, but inside contains both male and female semen. Not from a female, but just saying those are the two uh, sexualities that are inside of there, and as well as other combinations if they just so happen to be. And the same over here, just as the polarity of a magnet, in which um, in which the male and female exist. Okay, so check this right here. This the other testicle is right here, and then you go up, and then this will be the rod of the penis. This is the eye of the penis right here, right? So you get the triangle from the rod, and then the rod of the penis, man. Then the rod of the penis will be going into what? The vagina, the canal, the vaginal entrance, entrance, and then you'll get the opening, the eye of the opening, right here, the lips of the vagina, right here, and the two what is it called? It's not called the erytheus, the Oreos, or something, not Oreos, but the two right above the fallopian tubes. No, right below the fallopian tubes, those two balls that the females have as well. So you could have been a male or a female, and based upon the polarity that you would have naturally gravitated to from the sperm you came from inside of your mother's womb would have translated into either you having erytheas, those type of testicles and balls, or actual male testicles and balls. See, the rod goes into the vagina, but the vagina also has a coil-like entrance, right? So check this out right here. So as these testicles are completely polarized with male and female sperm, that means they move as a life force, as an actual live element that's actually alive. This is where um, modern day knowledge and understanding separates sperm, the life force of sperm, from your mucous membrane. Now, your mucous membrane is the same substance as your pre-cum, your cum, and your testicle fluids. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same type of fluids. That means that life force is extremely intelligent, and that intelligent life force that creates life is in your brain and is actually emitting through your spine all the way down, to your reproductive organs, to be re-emitted in her stomach from the things that you ate, from the things that you ate and went down to the beginning, your testicles, to recreate life within her, within within her, as you entered her, to put that sperm inside of her stomach to make that light, that star. It's completely polarized, as you can see. It's completely polarized, and we're completely equal right here. We're completely equal. See, she has two balls, which are the erytheals. I don't know what they're called, the Oreos or something. And we have the two testicles, and it's the penis, and her entrance, entrance. So the number is 3. So you'll get triangle shapes, and you will also get the shape of a star. You know, you look into outer space, you don't see this shape, this triangle shape out in outer space. You will see shapes. You're going to see shapes anyways, but this is not necessarily how you would describe a star, unless you actually, have some science behind it, or you just perceive this to be a star. But we've always thought of this to be a star, in which it is. It is light, and it based upon this equation, it can based upon the equation from our anatomy, it emits light, the frequency from in which our design is made after. So, okay, so this is where I actually have to do some more studying, because apparently this is atomical. This is atomical through metaphysics to from um, from our origins, from Isis, is, or our Orishas, to make man. I may not be that in depth of understanding yet, but I've found out a whole lot thus far, and I'm still growing and I'm still learning. But this is what I have to teach you so far. So stay with me. I just want to let y'all know beforehand. So check this out. Okay, so we have 3 points, which would thus entail the equation of male and female, as we this is initially would be sought out as our brain. This will be this is described. This could completely describe our brain right here, because our brain is a direct replica of the female vagina, with the man penis, with the left and the right brain being it's not the word synonymous, but completely replicated after the as well as the left testicle and the right testicle uh would be the understanding of the the way the brain is made. If you look at the two testicles and how they emit between each other, they're completely electronical. They're magnetized. This is why when you cough, they feel your balls, because they squeeze together, and they emit electricity. This is this is why your butts look like brains, because as above is below, and as you're pooping out, it's re-entering your poop, and your pee is re-entering into the universe. And we've had replicas, as I said, as no, no, I don't want to I don't want to just use my ancient ancestors' way of creating crowns to show um, how the third eye is actually a part of their anatomy. Just by using your imagination, you're metaphysically seeing for you're metaphysically seeing firsthand how your electricity is emitting colors and um, colors and fabrications out into the universe. And this would be an example of your penis, and your brain is a complete and comical understanding of the way your behind, your buttocks look. And there's also electrodes. There's also electricity in your butt. There's muscle and electricity in your butt that's reminiscent to the way your brain is shaped and how your brain works as well. So you flip it all over, you'll actually get your the direction of your brain and how it perceives from your frontal lobe out into the universe, which will either be, if you're a male, you'll think differently from a woman, but from a concave aspect in which you guys think equally. She's thinking about the same thing you're thinking about, but you guys are thinking about it differently but equally. You know, so you might have an outstanding uh, concept of creativity, but she might have an amazing concept of creativity. You know, this is based out upon your penis and your vagina, right? So, and so it would just entail. So from that, you can also get this understanding from um, sexual sex positions, um, why men, it can go it's really an in-depth flavor. So I can explain that real quick, because that shouldn't be hard to get. I don't know everything, but so I probably wouldn't be able to explain that full on, but um, you can use you'll understand this by if you can understand the way we think by the way we have sex, the way we create by the way we have sex with one another. If my penis goes into a woman, that means my the light that I emit and the colors I put into her universe means I'm a manufacturer. And for her to take on for her to take on my sperm and all the colors that I have and the electricity that I'm emitting through her would mean that she would be able to take on anything that the world has to offer, and she completely loves it. And she she's great at re-emitting life and recreating life in the universe. So she'll be great at inventing things. She'll probably be really great at inventing stuff or recreating things and putting more life into the things that you create. You know what I'm saying? Um, so a man probably can make a robot, but a woman would probably be the sole reason why we figured would probably be the sole reason why we figured out AI or something, because she's great at putting life into things. But as once again, we can't differentiate from one another because we put life into a woman, we put life into the woman. So it's always a cycle. That's also what I'm about to explain here. So that's another consistency in what I'm talking about that completely reinforces that my scientific method that I know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry I got to take that point, but that's true. You know what I'm saying? So there's I found out through my research that I just re-embarked on. I mean, no, this is the first time I actually embarked on this. That I knew that it was a cycle, and I already knew that I knew that it was a cycle, but I didn't know how much of a cycle life was in play until I actually figured out this equation that I'm about to show y'all right here. After what I just said, there's a complete cycle and a yin and yang polarity that Taoism and yin and yang is actually an example of. Um, so the yin and yang concept is he within she and she within he, but the yin and yang is not standing still. The yin and yang is actually in constant motion and full of color. It's not black and white. It's in constant motion and it's full of color at all times. That's what's really crazy about it, and it's completely harmonized. It's completely in harmony. So check this out right here. I forgot why I started that conversation. Oh, okay. So, um, I just lost it again, but oh man, that's in depth. That's really in depth. Um, I have to explain. Basically, I just try to do that nympho and nigga thing. Trying to explain uh, which being was a nympho, which one was a nigga, and basically they're one and the same. They're one and the same, and you know, they're one and the same, but their polarity is always in constant motion. So it's hard to sometimes capture that information. But luckily, nature has made us. Um, uh, Luckily, nature has made replicas of um, those aspects of nature in which it always does. So now we have two standing, negatives and positives, and two standing Adams and Eves that can stand here and be completely equal to one another, but have different functions that completely that have different functions, but simply attract one another because of their equality that excels them in the universe to constantly evolve with one another, through each other's existence. And they constantly exist because they constantly exist in every male and female in all existence, or any being that is sexual with one another. Existence is what, no, their their existence relies solely on their sexual and creative nature with their sexual counterpart, or their ability to reproduce and recreate. Thus, thus, always having a meaning to life, which is to continue to evolve, and be a part of the universe, and always continuing to mesh, to be to always to recreate, to create the ultimate itself, and it never stops doing that. And what magnetizes it, no, what attracts it to to its sexual counterparts is is the sole fact of it wanting to better itself through the combinations in which it mixes with, whether it's self-reproductive, it's still gaining this information through its environment. And if you're like, if you're a reptile and an amphibian, you can change your colors and add on to it and whatnot. You're still a male and a female, or you're still dealing with the universe sexually based upon your ability to take in that information from the fabric of nature and constantly evolve to make yourself better, or just recreate because you enjoy life, in which you just continuously to grow. You'll constantly grow because that's just what you do. It's your obligation, and you get an exciteful, euphoric feeling of doing it because that is your origin. That is your origin. That is your AURA gen. That is your aura gen. You know what I'm saying? Um, your beginning, and that electricity that you're emitting from your origin feels so great that is God. It is literally God-like, and that is why having sex feels so great, and recreating it feels so great, because that electricity is the highest light that you can experience. That is God, and that is why you continue to evolve. And it's more than just being obligated. It feels great because it is God, and it is you, and it is your origins, and that's just what you do, and that's what you love to do. It's natural. So, also, that's also reinforcing this everybody having sex. Just to put that point out there. So, um, dealing with and that bumps it down all the way to what I'm about to tell. So, dealing with the equation of the threes at the bottom, which is the woman right here. This is her or her no. This is her auras right here. No, this is her erytheas or something, and this is her cherry. And this is the penis eye. This is the penis eye, and these are the two testicles, right? Okay, this is the equation in which makes a child, which means the star in this light is the light emitting kit right here, because you cross these two, you get light, and these two beings make a triangle with their reproductive organs. You get three, you get three, and you get three right here, right? Okay, you add these up, and you're going to get, of course, 6. You're going to get 6. Oh, hold on. This is backwards. Of course, you're going to get 6. You're going to get 6 from these 3 and 3, right? And then you're going to get a layer of 2 triangles. And okay, you're going to also get 6 points. You're going to get 6 points, but 2 on the outside and 2 on the other side, right? Okay, check it. I really didn't. All I know is that the 2 is actually the number 2 is even, of course, and is also seen as half. So you're going to get a descension to an equation that equals 0, and an even that will always elevate. And this is based upon expansion from width, right? And that 2 is will always equal 100. But I haven't really went went into detail from width, but I have done the the vertices of it. But I guess I just explained it right then and there, because the word eve and even, it has to have some type of relevancy to it, to go all the way back to 0, and to actually be in an equation with having 2 points, and actually being an equation of the 2 stars, the 2 triangles that are here, and then the 2 reproductive organ points, and then you have 2 on each side as well as at the bottom too. So that means let's just count it up. Let's see what's going on. I'm being transparent. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh snap! Hey, so I'm not wrong. Once again, it's another consistency. They always talk about, you want to prove a point, have a scientific method, and if it all lines up to the consistency of your evidence, then it must be true. This is proof in the pudding right here. Okay, check this out though. This is not my point. Those are not my points. That's a better point than I'm about to make. But what I'm about to make is gonna blow your mind. Check it. This is crazy. Okay, so you have 3 up here, right? And 3 down here. You write, if you write, so as of above, so is below. And if this is all coming from the darkness, as we spoke upon the tree of life in the Kabbalah, into the light, and between the two is the color within, and before there's darkness, there has to be some light in order for it to be dark, and there has to be darkness in order for it to be some light. That means this whole universal metaphysical reality concept, that our reproductive organs and the understanding of the universe is validating with our understanding through sciences, is really man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Man, I'm tired of doing it. But it's really saying that it's really explaining the reality of our. I think I just said it because my mind is going so fast. It's been going really fast for the past 2 or 3 days. But it's really explaining the ins and the outs of the universe completely by our reproductive organs. It's trippy. So here you go. You have the 3 at the top and the 3 at the bottom, right? And as above, so is below. The light is within the darkness, and the darkness is within the light. this is how you understand heaven and hell, Satan and God, and God. You know, you can't really use God and Satan in the way that they use it biblically, but modern day biblically. But you can use it in terms of the science that this is interpreting, you know, which makes more sense. So, um, being satanic, there's a star, and being satanic also would be understanding. Being satanic would be understanding, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that is evil, like I explained before. Um, what I realized through this equation, which is light, and it is in constant elevation through Adam and Eve, which is an elevation, um, negative and positive, which is a reaction which elevates, would actually mean that satanic would actually mean being below a star. So this is literally speaking upon sunlight and how our organisms were made. Also, the word organ, you have origins, you have oregano. Now you have origins, you have orishas, and you have organisms. Can't be a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? There's obviously a biologically scientific spiritual basis to to um to how we knew the universe was explained before they chopped it all up and taught us to believe in science being separate from religion. It's one and the same, and that's really how they're getting a lot of people. I had to say, what, 70% of people nowadays, because either they get a little bit of science and they get a little bit of spirituality, but they're not getting it all. But here's the science right here, and this is some dope ass stuff that I'm trying to teach. So you'll get, you actually will get, because it's replicating um, the emitter the emitter of your light and your reproductive organs that recreate light. So it's going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's an upside down man in a right side up woman, and then the man is inside the woman, and the woman is inside the man because he holds the sperm. You know what I'm saying? So this is incredible. This is really incredible information, but it's a constant warp that continues to evolutionize itself. That's probably the type of element that we're speaking of, and it would be in a emitter. So it would probably just be. I don't even want to cop out and say that it would be like a multicolored emitting light. Um, it wouldn't necessarily even have to be dark, nor would it flicker and have like different paces and stuff. It probably would have just been. It probably just would have been our universe, and it would be constantly frequented. Actually, I'm not saying that's unexplainable. I don't. From what I'm thinking about right now, it's probably multi-dimensional, in which all things exist at the same damn time and can exist at the same time, in which we wouldn't have to abide by its we wouldn't have to comprehend. It would be furthermore. It would be beyond. It would be beyond. Actually, it wouldn't be beyond anything because we'd be able to explain anything. But it would be beyond our. Actually, it wouldn't even be beyond our existence. We exist in it right now. It's full of color. It has black and white. It's this fabrication that we live in right now that make up our reality. That is exactly what this would be made out of right here, and that would be that mucus, electrified, transparent a transparent membrane that comes sperm and electric transparent mucus nectar stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? That's completely that rainbow looking stuff you see in like your spit sometimes. I don't know, that spit, that rainbow bubble, holographic bubble type deal. That's what that is. And then it makes a picture, you know. So um so check this out right here. So as I was saying, below this you get, this is what they would call Satan. Below this is what they would call Satan. As you look up into the sky, also you see a dark abyss, which would be Satan as well. But this is in outer space. But you know, and people aren't really prone to looking down, and we can look down, but you can't say, you know, the Earth is flat. We can go, you know, at the South Pole and the North Pole. So I would kind of understand, you know, how they would say the Earth is flat, but then you can't really, you can't really go into stuff like that because we would have to reach the ends of the Earth. You know what I'm saying? But this actually explains that. This will actually explain that because so the Earth is round. Hey, check it out, because I haven't explained it to you. But this is explain it. This is explaining it right here. Let me put this right here. All right, it'll just do it anyway. So this is crazy scientific knowledge right here. So so you got threes right here and a three right here, right? They equal 6. Their equation is 6. So inside of the star is the golden equation and the reverse equation that goes down and elevates at the same time because of its equation. It is a life force acting element in which we were made by through the universe that is alive today. That means God is real, the universe is real, plants and animals are real, light, sunlight, everything that is emitting, the very fabric and elements that make this planet are alive. Right here. This is the knowledge from the origins of the universe and the same that right now in that equation. So check it. So as of above, they would explain being above the three marks. Um, Basically, this is just an equation to the male and the female, and this is the child or the light that it emits. And the same thing down here, in which we give rebirth back to the universe, to the planet, where we poop out stuff, we pee, sperm, or anything, or the baby comes out. This is just putting stuff back into the universe, and this is our brain right here. This is the head. See, this is constant reformation right now. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And these are your arms and these are your legs. I'm pretty sure this is explaining chakras and orishas and stuff like that, but I have to learn and get more in depth with this and stuff. So okay, so this is, as I said before, this is the heavens, in which use your imagination and you can get to the heavens. This is also what they would explain with the third eye, so on and so forth, and you're putting more into the abyss as you poop, or you expand the universe to its understanding, and comprehension through expanding it by giving more children to it through the woman and your penis, expanding it even more. So you got the heavens, and there's also light at the bottom of the universe and in the bottom of space as well. I've never seen the bottom of it, but I know there's light down there. It's not complete darkness. You can go down and up. So it might be beings and aliens under us. You know, we don't have to just take off planet Earth and just keep going straight. We have that mindset that okay, you leave planet Earth, which way we go? You go straight, nigga. Like go through the universe and you gonna pass Uranus. You gonna take a left at Pluto. Future. I had a better joke with that than that, but that's all I thought about. You know, Pluto and shit. Keep talking. Happy thoughts. Okay, but that's true, you know. So that means there's more of our galaxy and our universe under us and above us, as well as um, side to side. Okay, check it. So check it. So with that information in this collab of understanding, that means we have three. That means you have. Oh snap! Got my boom box, my jukebox. That means we got three facing this way. I don't have my marker on me. We have a three facing this way, and we have a three facing that way. And literally standing three right here and a standing three right here though. So you get one half of a standing three, and you get this half of an eight. And you get this half of a standing three that's completely polarized and is facing the other way just to be equal in polarization, equal and magnetized to one another. And that's the exact symbol through the frequency of that understanding will give you is the infinity sign, which is an 8. I don't I don't know what the word 3 means. I know what it looks like and what it's translating to 3 or 8. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll find out later. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. So as you have as these standing threes through their polarization will give you the infinity sign, the number 8. You will also get the number 8 going. Um, what is it? You actually get it going all directions, but I'm not there yet. Um, but it'll be through this 8 and the one going horizontal as well. Because there'll be an 8 going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an 8 going this way too, right? So you get one crossing each other and the other one as well. So you'll also get an Adam and an Eve. An Eve going this way and Adam going this way. And what else will further explain this is that the word infinity, its root word, the the root word of infinity is infant. And here you go, you have the top part of a body of an infant and the lower part of the body of an infant. And this is the equation in which explains the symbol of the number 8. And it's called, and they call it infant. They call it, no, they call it infinite. They call it, they call this the infinity sign right here. And the root word of this sign, this symbol, this mathematical symbol is infant right here. And the equation from that root word in uh, infinity, in which you get the word infant from, is the equation on how to make children, to make light, to make infinite energy, light, everlasting life, right here. Another reoccurring evidential evidence, scientific methodicized evidence that shows once again that we are infinite in outer space, and sex should be educated scientifically, spiritually, and intellectually. Well, that would be scientifically and intellectually would be the same thing, but all of them the same thing: mind, body, and spirit. You know what I'm saying? The folks. You know what I'm saying? Threes and the foes, in which you get elevation. So I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. This is some trill ass knowledge. Trick data. Check me out. Trillion. Nah, that's Louisiana. Nah, everybody was trill back then. Not the OG. Fuck that shit. Right now, check it. So when you have the threes that equals 6 into the equation of the star, you'll start to get. This is where you get the understanding that these words. It seems like not only these words, but these numbers meant more than just numbers. They seem to have an imagetic. I'm pretty sure it's another word that I learned at UCLA that explains symbols like Indrikas from Africa, like just hieroglyphs and stuff like that. How they always had a frequencies with symbols and stuff. But this is mathematical. This is a mathematical number play to symbols right here. Infinity sign and then the 6 swirl sign, which equals infinity as well. You got 6 12s. You got 6 12s, and that's 4 and 8. It'll completely equate to, and they're all even numbers, and they'll go back to 0, and you'll probably do the same thing with an odd number, 1 3 9, and with the 9, which you get from Adam, hey, you get an upside down 6. Oh my God! So check it. Check this out. So these are infinited. This is These are infinited, and you get a 6 going this way. No, you get a 6 going this way, and then you'll get a 9 going this way. Whoa! Check it. So check it. These are symbolically 100% polarized numbers from mathematical and shape equations that are based upon our organismic origins. Right here, straight up. That explains the universe. Trippy. Look at it. So you get this 9 or this 6, this 9 and this 6, and you'll get the golden equation to our anatomy. Whoa. Crazy. Right? So this is our old ancient alchemic philosophers figured out. Straight up. So I know what I'm talking about. Gee. Check me out. I'm telling you I know what I'm talking about. I'm making you understand. So look at this. So as above, so is below. This is what I was trying to explain in one of my old videos. I can rap a little bit. This infinity sign of the 6 and the 9s, 69 is also balanced. Oh, the Pisces, what's his taoism? Crazy. Which is Jesus Christ's son is a fish. The anointing one, hey Rue, light, raw, nigga. Oh, sound. Oh my God. Complete consistency. Nigga, I know what I'm talking about. All right here. It is in the mathematical number. It's the language is all still here. All of this still here. We had so many our ancient ancestors were super savvy. So would not it you I mean, even as we all are from birth, we are savvy. We know how to lie, we know how to get out of stuff, we know how to sneak out, all that shit. So it wouldn't be far fetched at all. I've been saying far fetched since I was little because of this Pokemon named Far Fetched, and he had the stick. but he was just a cool Pokemon. It was hard to catch, but it's I'm glad I figured out that word because I can use it in a situation like these. Completely irrelevant, but relevant. Um, it wouldn't be far fetched to believe that they actually hid. It wouldn't be far fetched to believe that they actually hid all of our knowledge in the language that we would be that would trump all, or just the symbology that would trump. I'm giving too much credit to them, and it's in my loins, it's in my reproductive organs, and we would have eventually found it out anyways. But we can't put it past, regardless of what may have happened, we can't put it past any of our ancestors that they wouldn't have been smart enough. Like, even once we refigure out this science, it's gonna be so much like the Benin Kingdom followed the Indrika, and the Indrikas were like they were mathematical symbolical images and shapes embedded in the matrix of our reality. They that's what they study, and they had palaces, the whole nine and whatnot. But we being taught that they just had kingdoms and armies and shit. Like, what is niggas doing BC with this ancient technology, swinging swords around, building palaces and shit? Like, it doesn't line up that way. You know what I'm saying? These niggas that's up here studying the Matrix have to be full in depth in the know of, and being past just warring with one another and warring with people. If you went to war, nigga, it should be some craters around this bitch from Kamehamehas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that's really going all out and really fighting wars and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to cooperate with those stories, with the knowledge that I'm saying now, like, niggas must have been like particleized and were able to be going in and out of portals, or just stepping into other dimensions and zones and domains through whatever they found out and learned from all this information. What they were able to, just to see from what they were able to accomplish, would have to entail that they accomplished phenomenal feats, and would have been able to embark on things that today we wouldn't even believe would be fathomable. What you say? Fathomable? Nah, wouldn't have been even fathomable. Oh, I'm gonna get a fucking gun. Get a fucking gun. Nah, I'm playing. Um, wouldn't even been, they Ubering, so they just kicking it. But wouldn't have even been fathomable for us, like, right now. But we are our ancestors, so we would have just evolved from what the things they saw and would have known and evolved from anyways. You know what I'm saying? So we still had that knowledge in us. We just have to relearn it and reapply it. Regardless of what happened, we will continue on through our genes and genetics because it's our origins. We have no other choice but to evolve, and everybody abides by the same rule of law of our origins. Genesis is just us out here. It is what it is, and we will continue to evolve. That is the message of the universe. So check this out. So you get the 6 and the 9 right here, completely equal to one another. It's like a screw, just like this is a screw. This is the shape of a screw. I mean, it's not the shape of a screw. It's the same understanding of a tornado. You get warm winds, or you don't get hot winds. I mean, you do get hot winds. You get warm winds, cold winds, and it forms a tornado. You know what I'm saying? Infinity sign is a tornado. You know what I'm saying? The penis going into the woman. You have a rod, and she has those not those coils. She has those ridges inside that attributes to the ridges on your penis. It's the same deal. You know what I'm saying? Those are circles that also equate to the 6 and the 9s right here. So check it. It's a balance. So literally, this is what I was trying to explain. This 6 and that 9 and these equations is actually on top of each other. That triangle is actually within that triangle, and that 6 is actually on top of it, elevating it. And that 6 and that 9, oh, the 6 and that 9 on top of it is actually elevating it through its motion as a male and a female attraction to one another, being an elevation. And um, just because the universe is pointing down, if we so happen to go to to um, to travel off of a spaceship and go south, does not necessarily mean that we're upside down. So we will actually go to the South Pole and hop off of the face of the Earth and actually still be going straight, and it would trip you the fuck out, yo. Literally. That's what's so trippy about this. But this is how our universe is fabricated. This is exactly how Einstein was thinking, because everything is upon itself. So you can literally, as everything is formed into shapes in different forms throughout the whole universe, there is still a foundation in which all of life in the universe abide by. But as we see in our origins, it does this naturally. That means naturally, if we're able to manufacture it, we can bend light, and we can build fabric. We can bend fabrics of the universe, and actually, I don't know, skip over some places, or find some places throughout the universe and be like, oh, let's see what's over here, and or let's I don't know, let's open, not open up a portal, but like basically like naturally you can make these places naturally. Colors and lights do bend naturally, and it has formed over time. That means we're actually able to accomplish this, because we're not saying that plants and animals are less intelligent. It's just our job to be creative. It's actually our obligated natural job to be creative. That is our job, to continue to elevate. If we are comprehensive enough to use our ability in our minds that we evolved into, to be able to touch this stuff, then we don't need to fight that God-given right to do so. As long as we continue to elevate and don't descend back into our existence, go backwards in a way. Because if you go backwards, doesn't necessarily mean you'll die. That just means you're being reborn into the light, and you just have to re-understand again. It's all about life, and you have to elevate yourself. That's all it means. This is the equation. So check this out right here. So you have the 6 and the 9, and it's going. They're elevating each other, and also on the side you have the infinity sign as well, and it's elevating each other. That means on every single side of this star, of this light, that frequency of elevation is constantly expanding this light. That means this star, this triangle, is actually multidimensional. It's multidimensional, and this frequency of infinity around it is constantly expanding. This is what they would call the universe, in which they have already said the universe is constantly expanding. Once again, a reoccurring reinforcement to what I'm talking about is true. Check it. Yo, so did I explain everything already? Oh, okay, here's another point. So it's cold, so I'm gonna cut this night short. So because this is actually a good video. So you have you have in, which is another explanation to being inside of the stomach and being inside, testicles and stuff. And you have infinite. Once again, you got this back and forth. This information saying inside of me, inside of me, inside of me, inside of me is infinite. Is infinity, constantly. And you have the infinite. I'm infinity. I'm infinity. I look like infinity. I elevate, smile, laugh, cry. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And then you have the word fin, which is also uh, the root. This root's origins is like famished, or I'm done, or I'm no longer hungry. You know, the word fin is also talking about, inside of me. Once again, infinite in the net, which is the creativity in a web of like anything really infinite. This is crazy. It's really crazy. They probably thought I was homeless with this cardboard box. Shit, I was. Them niggas ain't still give a fuck about the dot. Still love. Whoop, throw it up. But, but I pray, man, somebody hold me down. I'm just gonna be real. I pray one of the white girls. I didn't pray. I'm just saying, like, I pray one of them, one of them little things pull up, nigga, pick me up, nigga. It's going down, nigga. I ain't lying. Nigga, watching Trick Daddy on Sun got me lit. Got me hung, nigga. So, okay. That means in all directions, this infinity sign is constantly frequenting to expand in all directions through. Oh, okay, hold on. Through what's at the top. The top of these threes is the 6 and the 9, which is the same symbolic representation of your hair. Your hair, right? It's at the top of your head. It's called your hair. Now you get the H, which is also, I believe the word is, I don't want to cop out and say this is synonymous, but I don't know what the shape is right here, but I think it may be a helix. I want to say helix, but I'm gonna have to go inside and recheck. But I just know the word H, helix, helium is always a highly, the word high. Heavens and hell. This is where you get satanic, and hell is also a downwards explanation to understood. You know, like he will elevate, or he with the two L's, which is like a ladder to the infinity, and you know what I'm saying, which is two, which is I am in her, he, he is in I, and I will continue to elevate. Hell, you have no other place to go but up. You know, it doesn't necessarily say that, but that's pretty much what it stands for. And you will be reborn. So you got to go past the Satanist modern day teachings of Christianity, because if you go to hell through the actual science, this actually speaks upon you going back into the light. If you do go back into the darkness, I mean, as you know, as all things go back into the darkness, they re-enter through the light back into the light, and constantly expanded through the equation in which everything exists, and then you will be reborn again. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to strike fear into people at all, actually, just to debunk that information in the equation. So, I'm pretty sure it's like Tuesday, people kind of rowdy, it's not a Monday, tomorrow's Sunday, people just trying to chill. So I am kind of loud, but I'm cut this short anyway. So, just speaking upon the word H. So you have these two lines right here, and then this midpoint right here, in which it would cross over to the 6 and the 9, completely symmetrical to the outside borders and the midpoint. It's not called a diameter. Is it called a diameter? Or this would be the radius in which the letter H would still be in equation with the actual star. Hey, this all checks out. Scientific consistency. Once again, this is the method. Right here, I don't have to explain nothing. This is just all in the information, and I explained it too many times They're not saying this and that and the other. This is all in the science, yo. I'm not trying to. I ain't trying to put it off on any type of she say type shit. This is all in the information. So check it. So you get H and helium, hair, and high. There's plenty of words more than that, but I'm just gonna explain this like this: HAIR, and it's at the top of your head, which is hair, and you have helium and helix and stuff like that. But just speaking upon the word hair, and it's at the top of your head, like I said, and then you have AIR. Just to keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? You basically have H, hair, and air. You have just H, and then the syllable of just air. You know what I'm saying? And it could just be is, which would just stamp the infinitive note, the infinitive notice of just it being a standard air in existence, period, and with an H right there, just to reaffirm that. And it's called hair. You know what I'm saying? And that hair is also is synonymous to the hair of the throne, like the heron seeds. You know what I'm saying? So coincidence? I don't think so. All this knowledge and information and everything is lining up and is completely in line with the infinity sign. And come on now, I don't think so. I don't think you're winning that. I don't think it's going down like that. So yeah, I explained everything. Six is a curl in your hair, and that's too much knowledge for people to try to combat with some BS, yo. So just learn something, man. You know what I'm saying? On the real, like really learn something, really open your mind and actually listen to what I'm saying. Like I said, one day they may not see me, but one day they will, and they'll be like, Ronald Love knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I do know what I'm talking about. I'm talking no books. I read a couple 50 Laws of Power. I didn't even get through the whole thing. I read the Art of Mastery or something, and basically it was doing what everybody in the hood was doing. Anyways, everybody was trying to be the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? MIB in this bitch. And everybody had their own path. 8 Mile was out. Like, what you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, and one was out. Not only you have to be a vicious ass rapper, but you cannot hop on the court, without killing the motherfucker. Like, crossing the shit out of his ass. You couldn't raise your hand with wrong answers, nigga, because people had jokes out the womb back then. You know what I'm saying? You had to be super smart to really get in the institute or university and shit. You know what I'm saying? And niggas knew you were smart. It wasn't cool to look like a nerd and shit. Like niggas was really nerdy. You know what I'm saying? And, we still had our love for one another, just to say, because nerds came back. But we still the coolest motherfuckers walking around. Not saying that we wasn't the smartest motherfuckers, but everybody had their element. So them niggas want to fly honeys, and them niggas was planning for it. Them niggas probably in the house right now, chilling big time. Nigga Rodney sitting back with hoes on the leaf, nigga. For real, nigga. On tap, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? On the tap on his phone, nigga. Alright, I lost it. But that's why I ain't got no jokes. But I'm smart. I turned out pretty smart. I know what I'm talking about. But it seems like this one, the three, Rob passed me like that. That wasn't the three. That wasn't three. Yeah, that was a three. Um, um, yeah. No, it turns out that we all are elementals. This is all based upon our astrology. That means we're all geniuses. We just have different elementary. That's really what elementary is supposed to mean. Is that these children are actually out there supposed to be in schools learning, biology, like picking up leaves and deciphering the hell out of that motherfucker, picking up a rock and understanding this shit through and through. You know what I'm saying? That's really what elementary school means. You know what I'm saying? That's really what that means. That's especially sex. You know what I'm saying? That made everything that would be completely, I don't want to say synonymous. I gotta find out what that word means. Cause I know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to put words out there like that. It sounds right though. Right. I had complete alignment and correspondence with learning biology. And seeing that these kids just came from the womb, I think it's completely wrong trying to keep that shit away from their ass. Straight up. But, you know what I'm saying? That was good. I'm about to head out here. I was thinking about getting a Jeep, but can't travel around with the motherfuckers. You know, need some AC. But appreciate it. One love. And know your talents and your elements and your alchemy. You know, know your power. Don't pick up a gun and continue to be savvy. Um, if you do plan on fighting back, be as creative. Be as creative as possible. In terms of like gunfights, use your science and learn how to stop a bullet with copper wire or something, or with magneticism. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna explain this real quick, and then I'm gonna end the video. If this is you, and this is light, and it's based upon expansion and the polarization and attraction towards one another that made you, is based upon recreational recreation, the enjoyment of creating, that means your soul, your genesis, your origin is based upon the joy in creating and the expansion of yourself, the expansion and growth of yourself by you enjoying recreation in all things. That means this is truth. This means creation. Being playful, being savvy, being talented, being the light, evolving in every aspect of who you are is your truth. This is valuable evidence right here. You are the light, and you're supposed to do all of these things. And if you hinder one thing will be off, and you will be in disharmony, and you will expand. You will continue to expand and grow, but slower. But it's all based upon paths and series and electromagnetism. Based off of the overall universe. So I'm pretty sure the universe still understands. You know what I'm saying? You just make sure you stay to you, and you know the truth. You know the truth, and like your shit was getting told. Nigga, that's why I was looking at you. Thought you were told her. I'm like, niggas looking at me too. Like, I got your car. Like, I got a fucking car. I just put myself out there. Nah, I'm saving up. I thought about getting a car, but I was like, hell nah, nigga. I don't even be out there like that. Nigga, I don't trip about them buses. Nigga, it's $5. That is it. Nigga, I keep saving, rainy day, keep investing. Nigga, I'm good. You got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't even driving around like that. No, thank you. Nigga, in Cali, niggas outside, we don't even got transit like that. Nigga, these niggas got trolleys to here to fucking LA. Fucking probably San Francisco or fucking Washington, motherfucker. Nigga. Texas, you gotta put gas in your car to go anywhere, nigga. But fucking spacious ass place and shit. But still crunk though. But this just means that as you use your creativity, this is just your basis. It's creation. It's creativity in which will expand your life completely in every aspect of the word in which you exist. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm pretty sure the Orishas the explanation and the frequencies in which how light is made and the frequencies that I'll look more into and be understand more in depthly and make sure I understand clearly, and it has to go along with the sciences and understanding of what this is saying, which is the foundation of it all, about which is our reproductive organs. You can do your own research and whatnot. Um, but that's exactly what it's saying, and this is and that's just the basis of it all. Is the recreation, recreational recreation. Is being euphoric in your talents and your savviness. You know what I'm saying? Just be joyful, and you'll continue to expand throughout the universe. You know what I'm saying? And you won't die in vain. You'll continue to emit light. That's why we can't forget about Pocket no more. Anybody, this is another reason why you got to be extremely creative in all of your endeavors. People be like, oh, this is this type of rap, this is this kind of artistry, this is this type of science, this is this type of spirituality, this is this type of educational curriculum. Yo, be as creative as possible. You know, with nobody throughout the whole entire universe, even the aliens got onto me because they were like, man, what the fuck is this? Like, they would look at our art and they were like, it would be a shrugging shoulders. And another reason, like, not to toot my horn, is like they captured me because of my music. Like I said, I used to rap outside and I used to see alien ships sometimes, and they would see me and shit. I mean, they would peep me because I'll be out there, like I'll be like out there at 4 o'clock in the morning rapping and shit, going hard in the bitch. And they caught me because they were like, we fuck with your artistry, we fuck with your art and stuff like that. And as you know, Venice Beach, that's where I found those aliens that were teaching me. Venice Beach, they kick out some of the bombers, athletes, entertainers, and the whole nine. Like, um, what is it? Venice Beach is notorious for popping out legends. Everybody know that shit. That is like you. That is another make you or break you spot. That's right down from Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You can make it in Venice Beach. You can make it anywhere type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I had a different road, and they didn't want me to just blow up from Venice Beach. They wanted to train me there. You know what I'm saying? And they look at today's artistry. Like, I look at it, everybody talking about grades and people want to wear highlighted shit, and like, nigga, it's 2019. It's like, I'm used to tall tees with big ass press shirts with clean ass different shit on it, or I'm used to seeing creative air and ones and bathing apes and uh uh fucking, like, we came out with them camos, and it's like, it's a lot of shit, like everybody trying to bring back all the retros, and it's just you know niggas thinking they fly, and motherfuckers walking around here with Yeezys on and looking like fucking like Martian shit, like not giving them kudos, like they fucking like duck, like, oh my god, them hoes so fucking ugly, and they be causing bands and shit, like, and people be running around here with fucking fanny packs. It's like where is these people with this individual creativity that we was like jumping up with, like we was coming from in the first place and shit. And then people want to knock down, niggas that was actually out there trying to make like clean ass music videos, and you know, bomb ass rappers, and niggas that could really play basketball. Like, niggas back in the day could really play basketball. Niggas could really rap. Like, niggas were really artists and shit. Like, people could really dance back in the 90s and 80s. You know what I'm saying? It was not a game. Like, niggas can do all that shit now. But just imagine all these niggas that did not get a chance because of all this BS we had to go through, and we had to become legitimate, and and what is it? Not confide, but we had to niggas had to convert ourselves just to grow, and and learn and get better, and just conform ourselves to a certain standard, so we can get it right, so we can then put out our businesses in these aspects in which we wanted to put in and stuff. So it kind of sometimes feel like we would lose ourselves, but you just have to grow in a different way so your life could admit, because if that information that I just showed you is true, that means your creativity. Man, that shit fucking ugly. Man, that shit was getting on my nerves, bro. Man, I done watched Too Fast, Too Furious and shit. That shit wouldn't. You don't have to be that fucking loud. You can be cleaner than that. You can be sharp and just have that bitch go or something like shoot, like some shit like and be super clean as fuck. You ain't gotta be that fucking loud and that goddamn slow, motherfucker. It sound like your sound is slowing you down, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But keep it pippin'. Nah. Nah, but it's like back in the day, niggas had like real swag. It's like today, niggas is putting on fucking Jordans just to put the shit on and shit like that. Just like niggas ain't even rocking that shit like back in the day, niggas. I understand even before then, niggas was killing the game and shit in fashion. But nigga in the '90s, niggas was like matching like it wasn't shit, nigga. You had these color shoes and these color pants and this color jacket with the wristbands and the bandanas or something. Niggas always stay sharp with the fresh cuts and shit. Like I know niggas is still keeping their shit tight, but it's like damn, it's like we came from that. We came from all that shit to having these whack ass cartoons on TVs. Um, we still fighting for creativity and platforms, and you know we gotten a whole lot more and a whole lot more exposure. But it's like it should be a whole lot more art. It should be a whole lot more science going around. We should be past like still fiending for the next iPhone to come out and you know uh, stop waiting for these whack ass prototype shoes to come out and we should be, you know, draped in fucking the cleanest ass clothing by now. Yeah, niggas got more, you know, more opportunities for just, you know, choices and shit. But fuck, and we got Revolt TV and shit, but they took away, you know, BET don't even play music videos no more. It's like, damn, it's like we gotta, you know, of course we constantly expand. Just look back at that equation and we're infinite. But fuck, like we gotta still stay on some type of line, and that is just the advancement. And we just looking for like more creativity to stick on to the advancement of society and human nature overall. Like niggas, all we want to see everybody all around throughout the universe. All we want to see is you know this shit get lit. We just want free shit and constant creativity and you know, complete love making with whoever we want. You know what I'm saying? You know, we want to be free from laws, but you know, also have some type of you know regulation in which we don't have to harm each other, and we can keep the science on and up and up, and keep communication between all one another as we continue to venture out into the outer space and you know so on and so forth. We can have those types of regulations, but in terms of you know not keeping you know the human race intact and advancing upon that aspect is completely out the window. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like but just based off of that information as well. It's like there's so many people out there that shouldn't be you know conformed to just having a corporate job and working for people and shit. Of course, it can expand your world and shit, but don't take that away from the infinity in which you can constantly produce from. You know what I'm saying? All this information, all these clothes, all this, just everything that we're doing right now is all an evolution of what we learned from our ancestors, or they went back, or people went back and came back to us with like solutions from from them, coming from the jungle or whatever you may have you in, learning recipes and figuring out herbal remedies or, like they selling like recipes to us. They selling like dances or type of TV shows or, religions to us and, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? I apologize if I explain that fully, but basically they just attributed to who we are on the inside from a time in which we could remember, just to get them a buck and keep us um, suppressed in their idea instead of all of our ideas, so we can live unified in our existence. But just what was the what was the meaning of me saying all this? just know your worth. Just know your worth and keep fighting to elevate, because this isn't the end. This isn't the end of who we all are. You know, this isn't who we're supposed to be. You know, this is who we are. But we're supposed to, because the aliens like basically saying we'll shit on y'all and shit. Like basically y'all not doing nothing. Like I said, these aliens, they were tribes of sounds. Like they were like literally their spaceships were like they were like they resembled like not boom boxes, but they resembled like speakers, like woofers and shit. And they were like they basically come down and were like a woofer, and they spoke telekinetically with their spaceship. They didn't necessarily run on sound; they ran on frequency. But it looked like they showed me that once they turned it on, it was a big ass speaker. You know what I'm saying? It was a big ass speaker, and they were in clans of sounds. Now everybody else, there were other aliens there. There were different elements. They weren't all black. They were all different ethnicities, and some were, uh, there were other ones that were like ghostly, like oracles, like the ones you would see out 300 and shit. And and you would also get like morphing, um, um, the ones that could morph, shapeshifters. There you go. You get those too. But I lost my place again. But basically, um, they were just like y'all got to really step y'all game up out here. That's really what y'all need to do, and that's what that'll elevate you. Like they had two sides. They had a side that was red, and there was a side that was blue. The side that was red was the side that was learning like voodoo, and the ones that knew how to curse people and uh, stop like stop bullets and guns and flying. But voodoo wasn't necessarily evil, and cursing wasn't necessarily evil. Cursing just really means cursive. Is a combined frequency of words and letters and numbers that equated to a design, and it made you it was comedic, so it would make you react a certain way, and that's what it's just a science. It's going all the way back to the Kabbalah and so on and so forth. It can be good and bad, or it can just be in the range of a string of emotions. It's just it depends on how you design it. It's all factual uh, chemistry. What I'm saying? That's all it is. It's chemistry to get you to react. That's it. So I can rap a little bit, but what it is that okay, so that was the red side, and also you would have the blue side. The blue side is this red and blue is also I don't want to say the word synonymous, but it's also it originates from a long lost geographical lymphonic story of the attraction between man and woman once again. So that's why red and blue is also so important, because it means being cool, which is Adam and or Eve, and being passionate, which is Adam and or Eve, which is the attraction, which would equate to the color of royalty. So I'm guessing that would be purple. I think that's purple, and that's royal. That's purple is a royal color, in which they would say that's a royal color, and yellow is a bright color, in which they would say it's a bright color, and yeah, so on and so forth and stuff like that. So yeah, colors also have a deeper meaning too. So yeah, it's really cold out here. It's not that cold. I just seen Chicago off of I see it show like a snippet from like Chicago and shit. I know it's cold as hell out there. I just think I saw somebody last weekend from Chicago out here in San Diego. Them niggas was like, hell no. I'm like, damn, nigga, y'all moved? Y'all moved in the middle of, I don't even know, the middle of February? No, it's beginning of February. I'm like, y'all moved like that? It's crazy, nigga. It was that cold that y'all moved, nigga? I never moved out of I don't know if that's a city. No, that's Illinois. I never just moved out of a state of province like that just because of weather. but I would, nigga. I ain't tripping, nigga. Hurricane, see you later. Motherfucker, I watched the news this morning. Won't be me. So what I was saying is that them aliens, like them niggas was like, for them to be super telekinetic, you have to just imagine how supernatural they were. Like I was saying, like they was in society acting like homeless people and just getting you to believe a certain thing just to make you do great things and stuff like that. But they would be so supernatural that they would see a badass bitch and they would telekinetically have sex with that bitch before she even knew it. Like they couldn't contain themselves because they were supernatural, but they had an outstanding discipline to themselves. Like they also had to abide by their spirits. They also had to abide by their spirituality and as well. But you just had to imagine what those type of beings had to have gone through to be um, this this psychic, this type of psychic, and and being this supernatural to the point that it almost drives them to being primal. You know, every single time they deal with like a natural function, like we have more control over our natural functions. I guess that's an advantage on our side. Not saying from them, just saying from a humanoid standpoint, like we have an advantage of being able to control our beastly beings. Of course of course we're suppressed and sexually suppressed in multitudes of ways. But you just have to imagine what they're going through with their immense ability to do the things that they are able to do, and being aware of our intellectual beings and their attitude of being above us because they have the power to manipulate us and other beings as well, and they might come from a universe, a galaxy that they're dealing with other psychic beings that are doing the same shit to them, or so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying it from that aspect. I'm just saying you gotta, if that's true and they're intellectual humanoid beings and they're just telekinetic and psychic, you can just imagine how crazy their art is. Like super crazy, and how artistic they are. Like they making spaceships out of, they're not the type of making spaceships out of dicks and vaginas and shit. They're the type to um to to put their art into play. Like um, the niggas that was like pretty much the crew at Venice Beach that were aliens. They were black, but they were called the mob, the red eye mob. That means they were male um, telekinetic alien black people that posed as homeless gangsters, and it's also called Dogtown. And they basically they use their third eye to 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 pretty much rep their city, to pretty much rep the town, to pretty much rep Venice Beach and rep their alienhood by making the world and the universe a better place by using their telekinetic third eye. You know what I'm saying? So like once again, also reinforcing what I said, being horny and using your imagination into the cosmos is actually being in reconnection as a fabricator to the origins in which you came to be and was able to recreate and fabricate whatever you thought of in existence and or touch things through your mind's telekinetic power through the electronics of your brain. Your brain, your aura, actually, it's your brain, your aura, your whole being. Because one of my teachers, one of my gurus, my alien gurus, was actually teaching me to use my telekinetic voodoo power through my aura, not using my brain or my third eye. You know, they taught me to use my penis, using being telekinetically sexual, but also using my penis to move people around through their spinal cord. I'm not sure if you would call that your vertebrae and stuff, but I'm pretty sure there's information in how you speak upon people's anatomy too. I'm just once again I'm just learning. I'm being super transparent, But they also taught me how to, have sex with my mind and move people with my mind too. But also I could, have sex with the elements of the universe and use my imagination to fabricate things into existence and through attraction by the things way you think. But um, you also have an astrological you also have an astrological self in which you use your third eye in, which they would call this your crown chakra, and you can actually have sex with elementals and astrologicals um in in outer space through your higher self. And these just to reinforce, what I'm saying, it's crazy. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. Basically, I was gonna say, as this you actually having sex with astronomy, with your astrology. So, as kids are being reborn, they should, what I'm saying, they should already know who you are, based upon your frequency. Let's put it like that. You know what I'm saying? What the aliens taught me is that every plant grows flowers and every flower grows fruit. And once those fruits are ready to eat, you eat them. Naturally, you know, everything does have a flower, everything does grow fruit, and naturally, as soon as they're ready to eat, you eat them. You know what I'm saying? And what that's the metaphor that they use for sexual favor in our sexual opposites. Whenever their fruit is ready, you eat it. But I was just using that. I'm just saying, as you were using your third eye and your crown to have sex with your astrology, your ancestors, ancestrally, as those kids are speaking to your ancestors as they are getting ready to be reborn and they are in outer space, they are in your astrology and your auras, your being, your around your aura, and they're speaking to the universe as they're being reborn. Um, they're being reborn from your sexual nature, not only throughout the universe through your aura and your ancestral astrology, in which you are having sex with them by being creative, but um, through actually through the origins in which we all came here today is through everybody having sex recreationally. So you know what I'm saying? It's a huge reinforcement there. People still might be upset about it, but it's very true, and these are just facts. So it's very important, and it's extremely honorable that everybody, no matter what age they are, know this truth to sexual education, to be sexually educated and sexually educate themselves on it. But this is also being and this is something they would learn in elementary school, and that is being sexual with your elements, because having sex with astrology, with having sex with your crown self, your astrological self, not with yourself, but with your ancestors and ancestrally, being creative, and this is even through meditation or through your third eye and your crown self, through your wishes, having sex with uh, your astrology. This is called cosmetology, and the mixing of the fabrications of the nymphos. Um, and this will be interpreted of being elemental, um, and having sex with the elements. This is another translation into that. So of course they should learn this in elementary school. Being real, factual. This is factual. So I'm just going back and just spitting that re-forwarding because the aliens was bragging on us and they was like, you know what I'm saying? And I was there. If you walk down to Venice Beach and you walk down that line, everybody's out there creating this and that. And this most creative people that's around, and once again, they ain't nothing but legends popping out of there and shit like that. And I was like, man, I'm going around, left and right, up and down, what is it, California, looking for help, looking for the most creative people. I was even looking for TDE at one point in time. I was just trying to get I was just trying to look, I was just looking for a studio, and it's hard as hell looking for a studio. And some people trying to keep me out of bad neighborhoods and shit. They're like, nigga, just go, go to UCLA and just try to find some shit or something like that. But basically, I found them and they were like super creative. I'm like, man, these are the type of niggas I was looking for, went to Culver City and all types of shit. I'm like, man, finally I found some dope ass niggas somewhere because, in the South, niggas just, niggas is flashy, niggas just hard, and people is good. So I'm just looking for some creativity around LA and shit. And I found them aliens and they were like super creative and like the core people, like I was trying to say, the core people there at Venice Beach, the crew, they were part of bigger crews, and they were just secretly, embedded in. There were like multiple crews there. Of course, the people that was teaching me, the people that's handing out mixtapes, and just, you never knew who the real boss was, but the boss was already told to me. It was a woman who's from the Amazon and so on and so forth. And it was this older dude. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And he was a voodoo teacher, and he was able to use the light, and he was able to use the sun to his advantage. He was like that. His power, he was like a voodoo Jamaican dude, whose power was that green dude off of Street Fighter that had the electricity in his hair, but he was able to use the light. Um, he was able to use the sun, and he was a part of. I was a part of their element. We was all one. The part of our element of using the sun as our power, and they could actually turn their whole body to light and sunlight and stuff. And I was just learning how to like shine sunlight on rocks and shit. But it was real and stuff, and the females was feeling me too. That were also with the aliens and stuff. It was like they saw potential, and it was like their first time. I mean, some of them was like their first time seeing me do it, and it was my first time doing it too. And the other element is water, so I was actually able to like, you know, use my spinal cord, my telekinesis to like make waves in the water and shit, and speak to like Atlantean rock beings underwater and shit like that. I was able to do that too. And my other element is like trees and shit. Um, but there's also a bigger element, like my bigger element, which is your telekinetic element, or just your this has to do with your rishes, of course. It has to do with the colors of the vortexes in which you are made of. So I'm like a dark matter person. My element is my actual element. My tail is element is thunder. Sound is actually sound. I guess that's why I can rap and stuff. That's how it's geographically made. My sign is Sagittarius. So I always get to the point. So thunder, clap, Sagittarius, raptor, rapture. I'm a justice fighter, and I'm also a teacher. Which is and it also translates over to Egyptology, in which uh, my sign, my god of lecturing is electuring is Osiris, and he was a teacher. He was a teacher of the underworld, and he was in control of the underworld. But he was also the man of light, and and he's also a full man of color, and he was also the king of all kings. Uh, he was the wife of. He was the husband of Isis, Isis, you know, so on and so forth. The father of Heru, the father of light. So this can also be my walk and interpretation of the way the universe is working just by me being here. My son and the generations after me, it sounds like would be the light, would be the Herus, would be the heroes. um, basically the aliens and myself just want people to be more creative because it turns out through nature of us feeling that way. Oh, okay, here we go. The core brute that was actually there that everybody knew of, and they was repping the gang Dogtown and Mob, the Red Eye Mob. Them niggas' speciality was making plays. Like they was like they knew how to act in public. Like they literally could put on a whole facade and pretty much act out a day by day play, and they were so good together. Like literally, they like I don't even think they went home and practiced. They were like New York card players, or the bombest chess players you can ever realize existed. Like niggas, like how these alien speciality was to put on a facade to get you to do type things. These niggas actually put plays on the offensive and the defensive, actually just the offensive in order so well that they had like they could stage. They staged the whole beach, the whole like. I don't even know if they went out their jurisdiction from Venice Beach to like inside of LA, but I do know they were able to telekinetically speak to people from afar. But not even speaking on okay, not even speaking on from those terms. I'm just speaking on what they were able to accomplish by just from the people that were there. There were other aliens that played throughout LA period, but from those beings, they were able to like use the pressurized water in the air to send you to like a dream state, to like a butterfly state, and actually use your third eye and the serpent in the back of your spinal cord. They were really close. They were really scientific. They knew, like, imagine just based off of their creativity and how they were speaking, and even how I was speaking to them and how we were speaking the same language and how I'm growing. Just imagine, niggas already knowing this knowledge and being far above this knowledge. Like the Egyptians, for example, always had the serpent, the cobra on the third eye, and they were extremely obsessed and infatuated with sexuality. After everything that's explained here, these aliens didn't were the alien these aliens were using the slangs of Egyptians, like Ra and Set, and they apparently they knew of the knowledge. Not only they knew of the knowledge, but they were extremely in depth with their telekinesis to actually touching these points and being able to still use the elements of nature to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? They were still connected. Like so they touched the serpent at the bottom of the base of my spinal cord, which goes up to my head from my penis, and that is my snake, that is my serpent, that is my light, and this goes out into the universe, and it continues to elevate and expand. That makes complete sense. Makes complete sense, and I felt it. And they were doing it. They made me feel it too. I mean, it was a whole thing, but like there were other aliens there, and they were trying to stop me from even becoming or existence or finding out this knowledge, and they had to knock them off me, and I got tortured too, and that's not why I always wear a hat. You ain't gonna find no stitches on me or something. I ain't snitching either. Now, like, you ain't gonna find no stitches on me or nothing like that. But real shit, I'm talking real shit. They did torture me and shit. And, they were around me when my grandmother died. They was around me when my cousin came to see me. And they was around me when my mother died. You know what I'm saying? And, they stopped. They stopped right before I got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? They really did. And I still have feelings here and there, but I learned so much. I learned way I learned a whole lot, and I'm still learning now. And every single time I have flashbacks and think about it, I come back and I'm like, damn, that do make sense. And I'm learning, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why they did that. And okay. It's still torturing and uncalled for, but like I said, their way of being like supernatural causes for like more discipline. and sometimes they can't contain themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how rough they may be. They are, but I'm pretty sure they have gauges and they're smart enough to know. But just know that they're just completely natural beings. And sometimes they just they understand differently because we're all different. You know what I'm saying? I try to be as nice as I can to ants, but the motherfuckers crawl around my feet and then I accidentally step on one. I'm like, it's fucked. I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, I met that voodoo dude and at the beach, and he was teaching me how to use the sun, and it was pretty dope. Like nigga was blasting off, looking like a super saiyan and shit. Like I seen niggas like basically floating in the sky like Piccolo and shit. Like real talk, I ain't lying. People polygraph me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know what I saw. I know what I did. I know who I was speaking to. I know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an illusion or nothing like that. Oh shit. Still try to call me crazy. Niggas had me in jail trying to call me crazy. Niggas like 95% of inmates were on pills up in there because they were just trying to call people crazy. And it was like me, and I was like, no, I know what my name stands for. I know all this information. I'm telling you what I saw. I know I'm speaking to people, and I need assistance. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I literally almost died in jail because I was eating bad food and stuff like that. If it wasn't for my mom sending me money, I would have never bought those protein chili beans. If niggas, I probably would have passed out. I probably would have died up in jail. And niggas don't even care about it. But this society we live in, regardless of the science that I know. But like I said, this brings me to my last point. I can just end this video. So people were red, and they were like very, very extreme warlike people. But red also meant this was also a part of my walk. They was like, what does the color red mean? And it was like it's war. Okay, what else does it mean? Because this is all the stuff that I was going to learn. This is like the frequency they sent out telekinetically for me to walk to get to Venice Beach from like Texas, like San Diego. So red also mean war, but it also meant like love and passion. So as they were being warful, as my schooling progressed, they slowed everything down and they maybe like go to parties and meet people and stuff like that. Also, there was like sometimes there was parties that they were trying to get me to like beat out the best alien, the best charismatic alien they had on Venice Beach. And just like some of these movies where they have like people talking telekinetically and it'd be an empty ass room, that shit happened to me too. You know, like turn the lights on, turn the lights on. I forgot what song that was on. Turn the lights on, something like that. But also cool being cool is savvy is green, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to tell him, but telekinetic, fuck, blue, green, but they spoke in colors. They spoke in colors and telekinetically and shit like that. But blue was just being cool. I didn't. Oh, blue was also meaning that you honed in your art, like your art. Your being cool was like also being blue was also cool, and like being royal blue meant like they had like in-depth colors and different frequencies and like that. So if you like royal blue or like tree green or like royal red, that means you were cool and you honed in your warlike power and you were romantic. You know what I'm saying? If you were like tree green, that means you knew your biology, and that meant you knew your biology and biologics, yeah, your biology, and what else? And that you were like extremely resourceful and very creative. If you were like royal blue, that means you knew your arts and you were like you weren't warlike, but you were really cool and you were like fantastic at like fighting and creating, and you were like really cool to hang out with, and you were very communicative. If you were like royal purple, that mean you are royal purple and like super green, like light green. That meant you were like very communicative, and so, along with blue, you means you were like really communicative. And this was like people that they already had teaching. They were already teaching, and these were like all black people at the time. They were messing with other ethnicities, but it was like other aliens that other ethnicities derived from or descended from were being taught by them individually too. You know what I'm saying? So the stories about people meeting aliens and shit, that is true too, because I met my people and we were all unified. They were just all teaching us individually and shit. You know what I'm saying? But everybody wearing different colors, and they made you wear different colors for so people could differentiate you from this class to this class, and they were just teaching us overall. They was even doing experiments between one another and shit like that. But once again, I ain't gonna cry about it, but that and, torture and shit kind of hurt, and that shit was bad, and it was a very tough time in my life. You know what I'm saying? But what it is, and being purple and tree green and light green meant you were communicative and you was extremely good teacher. You was a really good teacher. But yeah, and people that already met the aliens and graduated from like school there, from like alien classes, they were always trying to get you to be with a certain class, a different color or something like that. Like choose this color, and you'll get to learn this, or choose this color because we think you'll be, will get you the best understand, you know, you know, the element of yourself through this color and shit. Like it wasn't necessarily a rule that you couldn't talk to them, but that you couldn't be spoken to. I know that the frat brothers of those alien classes, they were so competitive. They were so naturally, telekinetically, and so physically, metaphysically strong through their telekinetics and their elemental ability to assess strength that they were super sexually competitive. They weren't the coolest bunch to like, they were like actual hood real niggas like, but they weren't like heroic like Heru, Egyptian heroic. You know what I'm saying? They kind of lost a part of themselves because of the corruption in their own society. I mean, not corruption, but their turmoil. They were going through a turmoil, and because they actually underwent um, a battle that kind of left them hurt because the aliens that they were actually protecting me from, or they were actually fighting, were actually turning other. They were actually doing some pretty evil things, like turning like the movie Us is coming out. It's kind of like that. Like they were turning like psycho elemental alien black people um, that they raised in like laboratory labs to like hurt other psycho people that were aliens and stuff against those alien brigades and stuff like that. So like, if you ever had your blood drawn or anything, they would clone you and shit, and then they would have that face in front of them and like beating them up or using your telekinetic power that you're able to do in those conditions, and they would have that person like see you and grow up and be like bloodthirsty for your ass and shit like. So they were like really standoffish, and they were like they like really wanted to hurt you, like, so you wasn't able. And plus, it was the code, and they were just trying to teach you how to grow without them, you know, without them being around you and without them babying you. Like the girls really wanted to fuck you, but they really wanted you to be tough and understand. And every single time you like exhibit some natural spunk and natural ambitions, and some females come out, or a nigga give you a plate or something like that, like they'll actually feed you. Other than that, you have to pretty much fend for yourself and even learn for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you like went too slow or something, they'll be like, okay, let's give you a push. Let's get in your mind real quick. These are a whole array of things or something like that. But they ease up off of you, like basically at nighttime. But at nighttime, they wanted you to do things special. They wanted you to do special stuff. You know what I'm saying? They wanted you to have sex. They wanted you to go meet people and You know, they wanted you to still live your life. There was never a dull moment when I was speaking to them telekinetically. I give them that though. It was not a single dull moment when I met them niggas at all. Not a single one. Not 1 second was it dull. You know what I'm saying? Not 1 second. Because they were that smart. They were actually teaching you the whole time, and it wasn't like, you know, full throttle 24 hours of the day. Like sometimes and some days, yes, you know, because they were trying to keep you safe and they were trying to do things on their own accord, and as well as like teach you, you know, teach you new things. Uh, Sometimes it would get so hectic in the way they was teaching me. I would like answer questions in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They were really grilling me. They was really drilling me with them with that knowledge. But but yeah, like I said, people can polygraph me. They can cross-reference this information. They can use their own scientific methods as long as it goes all the way back to the foundation of the origins in which everything is. Then, you know, you can try to see if it discredits the information that I've just told, and it goes straight down to our reproductive organs. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to our origins, to the origins of the universe. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I don't stand behind things that don't make sense. I don't speak up nor I make damn videos. I don't even open my mouth unless I have, you know, something uh, appropriate, not appropriate like sensitive, but like um, knowledge, uh, knowledge, intellectually appropriate, like things that just make sense. Like of course, I'm managing my blackness, but I'm more managing than ever my human nature, because you know I was taught not only by aliens, but I found out the truth about everything through my works as well. So I have to sit around here. I gotta act like I'm not supposed to be able to plant my own food around here. Like the world, the universe isn't my oyster. Literally, I gotta literally, you know, work, or there's so many things that I don't have to abide by. This whole society turning on each other, but you know, we're coping with it, of course. You know what I'm saying? But it's still not right. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to check me. You know what I'm saying? Let's make the world a better place, and just stay with it and stay savvy. You know, do the damn thing. So appreciate y'all for watching, and I make sure to get through the rest of my notes and continue to embark on this information. But as the 6 and the 9 is going up, and as it is below it as well, that also means that that star is levitating. That also means that star is multi-dimensional, and that means it's I guess that would mean since it's an 8 going, it's an 8 uh, vertically. 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 on the other side. So I guess it's 16. It's 16 dimensional. It's 16. It's yeah, it has 16 dimensions. That means that star has 16 dimensions. That means this is a 16-dimensional world. Um, Probably times 2. So yeah, I heard something about 32. I heard something about 32 dimensions. So that's 6 6, and then it's another balance. So it'll like so it's an oh so it's an infinite universe. Right, right. It's an infinite universe, and it will continue to be infinite. So it just keep capitalizing upon each other, and those are the symbols. So, and that's Adam and Eve. That's a man and half a child that is missing a part of it. That's missing a part of it that'll continue to grow because of the 2 and the 3. It kind of sound like it, but that's Eve, because that's like half an 8. Either way you put it, but it has to be whole, so it must continue. So it has to continue to evolve until it's complete. But that would just mean it's never complete, so it continues to expand, to continue to enjoy. And it's constantly enjoys expansion. But I'm about to head up inside. just keep creating and seeing the light and just doing your dang thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep trying to teach, and I'm gonna keep going as far as I can in this portion of my life. And I appreciate everybody for hearing these videos out. As soon as you see it, you know what I'm saying, just rep that. You know what I'm saying? Just do your thing. Appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.